Hey guys, what's going on? Andy Elliott. Listen, this is going to be a cool kick-ass. I'm gonna call it a training video, even though we're calling it a podcast because, you know, it's like we're in a podcast setting, but it's really training, okay? This is going to be the 5 reasons why businesses die, why they fail, why they die. What are the bullets that take out a business, okay? And by the way, I'm here today with some friends of mine. They're like family, Eric and Shyla Klein. Now, Shyla is an animal and she's a little bit shy and nervous to be on the podcast, but she runs the company. Okay. Eric's the face. He kills it. He crushes it. But we know, besides every great man is a badass woman, but she actually works with them, and everything they built is because she is there building it. So she knows all the culture killers. She's seen why people leave, when the business grows, when it doesn't. I would say, Shyla, you watch the money. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when I say, what are the things that kill a business? You know, a lot of people can look like they got a business, but how much cash is it making? How is it growing financially? Right. So this is going to be, and by the way, like we're going to talk about like the 5 things that can kill a business. And then we'll talk about some things that can really grow a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shyla, I want you to kind of tell everybody a little bit, because I'm going to make you talk first, what you and Eric are doing right now and what you guys have done before, just because I want to give some clarity to like who you guys are, what space you're in and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm Shyla Klein, and Eric and I have been in business together for over 15 years now. We built a business that grew to generating over $34 million a year in revenue, with almost 150 employees, a timeshare exit business. We had a wholesaling company, which we sold a few months ago. And we are now in the coaching space, teaching wholesaling real estate and just helping businesses grow.
So wholesale real estate, can you really make that much money?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, is Eric really good at sales, or does he just tell people that?
No, he is really good at sales.
Okay. I love it. Now, Eric, guys, just so you understand, Eric is kind of like the front face. They were in the timeshare gig, right?
Yes.
And you guys crushed that, and you killed it. And then you started a whole new, entirely new, different avenue. And I think you said you did like $2.4 million in sales, you know, kind of figured it out pretty quickly, and you didn't really know anything about it, but then you started studying it, geeking out, and you started to figure out that, dude, anybody can do this.
Yeah.
Right. And then you guys are really good about building call centers, you know, because you said you had all these people. Yeah. So you guys, it was like the perfect niche to roll over because you figured this out.
It was the same model, different lead.
Yeah. Same model, different lead.
Same model, different lead, from the sales process to like our SMS drip campaigns, the CR, everything literally was the same.
Yeah.
We tweaked wording in the pitch.
And you pivoted from here to there.
Literally overnight. Overnight.
Yeah, guys, this is super important. And I'll say this plug up front. I know you guys have seen him before, but if you guys are like, hey, you know, I'm in sales, or I want to be in sales, or I don't like what I'm doing, he teaches people because he did it himself. Okay. And which is super important, because I don't respect people who are theory teachers.
Yeah.
Like in theory, if you were to do this would work. Okay. Like in theory, if you were to go to the gym, you should get in shape. I'm like, dude, do you go to the gym and are you in really good shape? Because I want applicant teachers. Applicant teachers are people who have actually done it themselves. And those are people I want to learn from. That's what Eric did. And so and that's what he's still doing. And now, you can make so much money. He's got guys making 7 figures in their first 12 months. Working from a phone from their house, because he teaches them how to, you know, be the middleman for wholesale real estate.
Virtual wholesale real estate.
Yeah, the average deal that these people are getting paid per deal is like $22,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
and a lot of
nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. And a lot of his, I mean, think about this. He's got part-time people, which are part-time real estate, okay, on wholesale real estate. They have a full-time job making $5-8 grand a month. Let's say. And then they learn from Eric, and then they go part-time and do this wholesale real estate, and then they get a $22,000 check. They're quitting that job. They're done.
Dude, we have a guy right now that is a diamond, what's the MLB baseball team here in
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks baseball coach.
Uh-huh.
He's a coach for him. And he's been in the major leagues. He came up, was never a starter. Awesome dude. He's a coach for the Diamondbacks right now. And wife, 2 kids, makes $75,000 a year. and his no sales experience at all. He was so nervous and skeptical whether or not this was real.
Mm-hmm.
His first 30 days with us, he made $38,000.
Life-changing. Sorry to interrupt the podcast. As you're hearing us talk about the 5 reasons why businesses die and then what you should do, and you're listening to Eric and Shyla Klein, which are amazing. They're a badass power couple who have built, so many 8-9-figure businesses. This is super important, okay? They're doing a killer, and I love this. This is going to change your life. They're doing a killer leadership training event that's going to be coming up in January, okay? So if you're watching this and January's past, well, they always do events all the time. But if you're catching this now, you need to text the number below. You see it on the screen? Text the number below. Say, I saw you on Andy Elliott's podcast. Give me information on the leadership event. Remember this, the leadership, the quality of your life will always come down to the level of your leadership. You want to blow up a business, you got to become a great leader. So I love you guys. Text the number below. They'll send you information. Let's get back to the podcast.
His wife finally became a believer.
Yeah.
Because
when you bring home that check, Mama's like, all right.
Let's
yeah,
more.
and so he's a raging
Is there
fan.
more of these?
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah,
Can
no
we get
shit.
more of these?
Yeah. So it's real. It's real.
It's real, it's legal, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. So you don't have to relocate your family. You don't have to move. You just got to study. So if anybody wants to learn that, let's get into 5 things that I believe kill businesses. If anybody wants to get into that, you guys, there's a number on the screen. You just text it. Just a simple question. Say, hey, where do I start?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw you in Andy's podcast. Where do I start? And he'll take it from there. He'll reach out to you guys. Let's start with the 5 things. Okay, Eric, why don't you drop bomb number 1? 5 things that make businesses die.
So I will, because my wife is sitting here with me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that listen to this where they're in business with their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Their spouse is their business partner.
Mm.
And something that I did early on in our career, and I am still guilty of it from time to time right now, having my wife as my business partner, is I used to treat her like an employee. And I didn't.
That'll get your ass in trouble real fast.
But it will literally, it's a bullseye
For a business.
straight in the middle to a business.
Yeah.
Because I know today, like, we say, oh, I'm the face. I have a louder mouth than her.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked.
Well, the face, your wife is the brains, but a lot of the times we're the one in the front barking.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're behind making the real play.
Yeah.
There's the integrators.
Her intro, like, of who Shyla Klein is, was so downplayed. Like, and who
she is.
Dude, she's a monster. Without Shyla, this dude is lost for one. She works harder than anybody that I know. When her feet hit the ground at right now 4:30 in the morning, like she doesn't stop until 9:30, 10:30 at night. She does not stop.
Mm-hmm.
She
should start hanging out with Shyla.
Yeah, but she is she's the backbone to every company that we own currently today.
Mm-hmm.
She is the one that helps navigate me to make sure I'm not making wrong decisions, because I do go 100 miles an hour. A lot of times I don't think before I act.
Yeah.
And she has a really good picker of, making sure I don't get around the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
She has been like on our last business that we started from a bedroom. Dude, she was such a savage on the phones. And like I always said, she is the best appointment setter, qualifier that I've ever seen on the phone.
She'll do the shit that no one else wants to do.
Dude, she will pound from a cordless phone, get a lead, toss it, do another one, paper.
Back
like
in the day.
It's crazy. And like when I'm, coaching our team on sales, or like she's one of the best I've ever seen.
She's your greatest student.
Literally.
Yeah. I tell my wife all that, or not, my bad. I reverse that. My wife tells me all the time.
Yeah.
She says, if you spend as much time, training me as you did everyone else,
Yeah.
we would be 5 times bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. You know, they're the greatest students.
Yeah.
And so I think the rule is that if you're going to do business with your partner, don't make them do the shit that you don't want to do. Right? Make sure that they're just as equal as you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
you guys need to do everything together. And you need to make sure that, you know, if the business is going to grow, you guys are going to have to fuel each other with love. And you're going to have to stay, you know, you can't let it kill you.
Yeah.
Because it will.
Right.
That's why a lot of people can't work together.
It'll die.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been doing this for 15 years together.
Yeah.
And we've been through some storms.
Yeah.
Some massive storms together. Hell. Like when we were going through and then I'll end it and we can get on to the other bullets that'll kill a business. But it's like giving her the respect that, you know, she deserves. Because a lot of times I like taking all the accolades. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And the attaboys when really a lot of it should have been going to her. When we went through, lost our last exit, because we were getting ready to cash out pretty good today. And we ended up going through a 2.5-year lawsuit, and she sheltered me so much from this lawsuit to where I really didn't know what was going on. She took 95% of that stress and put it all on her shoulders. And she sheltered me from it so I could go and try to find the next thing for us. She allowed me to go out and hunt. And I didn't know how serious the lawsuit was until literally it was all over with. And like we were signing and settling, and then I like saw how serious this shit really was. Well, she dealt with all of it. Lawyers and everything. I mean, a 2.5-year lawsuit being sued by 2 multi-billion-dollar companies. She was the one that fought them, not me.
It's crazy.
So she, you know,
I like her.
Yeah, she's a savage, dude.
Yeah.
She's a silent killer. But just treating her with respect. And
that's huge.
You know, and it's for me, it's been me maturing as a husband, a business partner to my wife. I always used to say behind every great man is a great woman. Well, she's really beside me. A lot of times she's in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but she doesn't want to take the credit. She wants to get the job done.
She wants to get the job.
And then we're over here figuring out who's going to get the credit.
Yeah.
we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know, except telling everybody when she finished her job, what was done.
Yeah. I mean, I think to that, I don't know if it's another bullet, but to speak to that, like just knowing your roles and being supportive of each other, right? We're very different when it comes to business. Eric is a driver, you know, and I don't know if it's the caboose or what, but I'm just keeping things on the track and making sure. So
you're cleaning up his mess.
Yeah, making sure the right decisions. I'm like, you know, I'm more analytical, so I want to step back and observe everything, you know, before I make a decision. But Eric's, you know, definitely a little bit different, but we balance each other out because sometimes you do have to step back and look at everything and think about it. And sometimes you just have to like be willing to just go forward, you know, and I think
guys like the headlines.
Yeah.
And women like the details.
Yeah.
We skip all the details. What's the headline? Oh,
yeah.
Let's go. And she's like, what about the details?
Yeah.
I go, does anybody know how this is going to get done?
Yes, that's all.
And you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I go through the same thing every day.
Yeah. So being supportive in that way, and just being each other's like cheerleaders, and you know, you talk about like how much Jackie pours into, makes you like believe, you know, in yourself. I think that's like equally important for, you know,
motivate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very stressful.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
Yeah. And once the other person doesn't feel like you love them or care about them and you know appreciate them anymore, appreciating somebody is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah. Like the stuff you said about her right now, she feels appreciated.
Yeah.
And you know, it just took 15 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
I'm just kidding. I like to bust your balls. Huh? You know what I'm saying? I get my balls busted every day.
Yeah.
So anytime that I can get a chance to crack another guy, I'm like, yeah, let's torture him. Okay, super important. Bullet point number 2. You said it, but I want to see, did you change it? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't know. I said a few things, but one thing I was just thinking too, I mean, the leadership, right? But whether you're husband and wife or a team, business partners or anything, but like that trust in the leadership where the team is like bought in. We were talking about it a little bit
Trust
before,
and
but
leadership. So I think number 2 is when the leadership is gone, the team is gone.
yeah,
Everyone's gone.
yeah,
Yeah, they step out, like, I'm sure you see it. You
Yeah.
see a lot more businesses than we see
yeah.
where they just step out too fast,
Well,
right?
well,
Whether
sure.
it's the owner or whatever, they want to
Yeah.
be a CEO
yeah.
and lead from afar, where really they should be on the front line.
Because there's so much business training that says, hey, your job is to work on the business, not in it.
Not in it.
And then they want to step out of it. And then what they were once in, and all the people that came to work for that company, for that person, when that guy steps out, a leader puts like a circle of safety around his people.
Mm-hmm.
And when they feel safe and there's trust, people will work with blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
But whenever the leader's gone and when the leader's absent, people will only work for a paycheck.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's when companies get in jeopardy really fast.
Yes.
That's one thing that I even told Shyla about this, because very few guys will do what you do. Very few, where you're in the trenches with these
Mhm.
guys, dude. And that's the one thing that I saw, like when I came and saw you guys, or you on your stage for the first time down in the den.
Mhm.
That was awesome. But like, it was seeing how the team
Mhm.
talked about you. I'm like,
Mm,
dude, I need my team to talk to me just like they talk about this dude.
Yeah.
I knew you were in the trenches with these guys just by the way they were talking
Mhm.
about you. And I've always been that way, but I don't know if my team ever talked about me the way your team talks about you. Right?
Yeah.
That dude, that's special.
Yeah. Well, honestly, and I'm going to say this, I never talked about a boss or anybody I've ever worked for like we talk about each other in this company.
Yeah.
Because I've never worked anywhere where there was leadership.
Yeah.
There was, what are the numbers?
yes.
How much are we putting up?
Yes.
Are we on track? And if we aren't on track, like no one's going home. Like there was never, no one knew my wife's name.
Right.
No one knew my kid's name. I mean, I worked for 21 years in retail and no one ever knew my children's name.
Yep.
No one ever
Crazy.
knew what my family goals were. I mean, no one, nor did they care. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, it was just like, like having a good home personal life was never talked about.
Mm.
No one said, hey, I want to make sure that you guys are, taking care of your families.
Did they want you to have like they wanted you to be all about work?
They wanted you to be all about work because they want to hit their numbers. They want to
Yeah.
hit their money. And at the end of the day, you trade your time for money. And that's why you're here. You're an employee.
Yeah, you were a KPI to them. You were,
Yeah.
huh?
You're just a number. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's where, you get into that cold-hearted, that where there's no culture, there's no love.
Yeah.
There's no growth because honestly, everybody is just competing to be number one because it's the only way to get any love in the company is to be the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it means killing one of your employees along the way, I mean, dude, that's the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually praised to
Yeah.
take another one out, instead of building each other up, being powerful, cheering each other on, and not being a consumer in the company, being a contributor,
Yeah.
wanting to give to your company. People will give more when a leader's present. But yeah, when the leader's absent, and I said the quality of your life will always come down to the level of your leadership.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And leadership isn't a position, it's a skill of influence.
Yes.
And so a good leader will be influencing people constantly to give their best, to, take good care of the customers, to be good to each other, to cheer each other on, to do the right thing,
Yeah.
and it's not all about money. Matter of fact, we're in the sales industry, me and you, a lot of people get in trouble because the numbers are so crucial to be shown any love that a lot of the time sales guys end up doing the wrong thing
Yeah.
because they just fear. It's like empowering people is one way to lead. I lead by empowering people.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was raised by fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in 21 years of fear. If you don't do this, you're out.
Yep.
Okay. So I never thought that somebody wanted me to live a better life or change more lives or create impact. It was no, like, dude, you're going to be number one. And the minute you're not number one, we're going to bring in someone who is number one. So stay number one. You like your job? You like your position? You like these things? You like this?
Yeah.
Okay. hit the numbers. That's it. And when you don't want to hit the numbers, someone else is lined up ready to hit the numbers.
And this is so crucial.
Yeah,
I know
that's
this isn't the sexiest for some people out there. They're like, where's like this? This is the shit that really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is what matters. What we're building right now. We have an office right down the road from you. We literally moved all the way out here to be closer to you guys and
beautiful office.
Replicate what you guys are doing in another industry, right? But like every business that we've ever built, it was we had W-2 employees, and we call them employees. We have now team members, right? We are getting closer to them than we ever did. I used to live by, I don't associate with them outside of the office.
Yeah.
And they weren't no bullshit. Weren't allowed at our house, weren't allowed at we kept that 100-foot distance at all times.
Well, because you never know when you had to let one of them go.
Right.
It's a production-based deal. So the family.
Yeah. We didn't feel that trust both ways. I think.
Well, we didn't. But I never met anybody that did different.
Yeah.
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 Well,
never.
Yeah. Well, I was taught the same way. Look, you got to keep your distance because, you don't want to get emotional, right? Like businesses need to be black and white. Decisions need to be black and white. You don't need to get emotional. And when you get close to someone, it makes it harder to lead. When you get close to someone, it makes it harder for you to tell them, what they're doing wrong when they're doing something wrong and stuff, because you've gotten too close. You get into the friend zone, right?
Yeah.
But the cool thing around here is that there is the direct zone, which we live in, which is it's frowned upon not to call someone out on their shit.
And be honest.
Yeah. So here it's like we positively peer pressure people every day to be greater.
Yep.
And that's the code that we live by. And so around here, if you're lucky enough to have somebody in your life, and there's a whole group of them that constantly just call each other out all day long for areas and holes of weaknesses, and people appreciate, hey, thank you for calling me out on that, man. I didn't catch that one.
They don't get offended.
Dude, you can't get offended.
Yeah.
But the leader though sets the culture and builds the environment for what will be tolerated and what won't be tolerated.
Yeah.
So you guys together are becoming different leaders that are building a different culture for a different kind of relationship with your employees. And you're making a decision now that it's not that we're not going to get close to people, but we're not going to hire people we don't want to get close to.
Right.
Yeah.
You're hiring someone because they're good at sales. You're hiring somebody because you can see them being in the inner circle,
right,
guys. And they could also be good at sales.
Yeah.
It's like now there's that other piece, because you don't want to walk into the office now. I mean, you got your son homeschooling over here. You got this going on. You don't want to walk in the office on eggshells, walking around and, that guy puts up a lot of money, but I can't stand his eye rolling, his arrogance, the way he treats people in the office. I can't stand it. No. Like, we're not going to hire people based off that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a longer journey to build a better team that way, but you don't have the churn, so you're not hiring people to replace people every freaking 6 months because you're hiring rock stars who don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? It's a different game. It's all the same effort. Okay, number 3. Okay, bullet point. I want to drop it.
Please.
You said a leader, right? And then we talked about your first one was what?
You work with your spouse.
They're working with your spouse.
Like an employee or they're a partner.
Yeah.
Respect them.
Yep. Yeah. Respect your partner.
Know your role.
Yep. And she's like, respect your partner. She's like, know your role. She's basically saying that to you. You're saying, I'm just kidding. It's a good time on a podcast to get to tell you. If we're doing a podcast next.
All right.
And funny thing is that she'll say things to me. She's saying it to the camera, but I can tell she's saying it.
Of course.
And I'm like, Dave, why don't you just look at
me? Yeah.
Like, we're getting
that
into
corner eye.
Yeah. Number 3, I think the biggest bullet to me is the culture.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the leader's the person, but the culture, it's either going to be a hero making machine and people feel powerful and feel strong and feel enabled and they feel like they can do anything in that culture, or they don't.
Yep.
And it feels again, the leader's gone, the trust goes, but it feels like there's no trust.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like, the reason why people have so much turnover is because people don't love where they work anymore. People just, they don't care. Like I say this, like, okay, if you can build this culture, you can build anything. So I call it a hero making machine.
Yes.
I call it heaven on earth. Okay. What that means is that we have fulfillment, we have purpose, we get to serve people, we get to build each other up to be greater, and we recreate, we become better every day in here together. And at the end of the day, our goal is we all want to be rich, financially at some level where we have a financial fence around our family, but we all want to be rich in life.
Yes.
And this culture that we're building is so that we can all have a good life, because I've learned if you love where you work, if you love where your career is, you'll go home and you'll be really good to your family.
Yeah.
And people that have a really good career with a good culture tend to go home and have better home lives.
Yes.
Because we work more than we do anything else.
Yes.
So I think a death to every company is a shitty culture.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll look up and no one will want to be there and no one will be around. And plus,
Including yourself.
yeah, I was going to say,
you don't even want to be there.
The passion dies and kills off.
And that starts with
the leader
from the top down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The top down, man. Right? Don't ask people to do what you aren't willing to do yourself. Don't step out too early. All of that, like, it all plays such a crucial role.
Mm-hmm.
I see businesses often where the culture seems good, but as soon as the guy steps out, it's like everything goes to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
The team leaves immediately, one by one. They start fucking off.
Yeah.
And then the CEO is wondering what the hell happened, right? And there can be bad culture within a company. There can be good culture, like what you guys have created here. Absolutely awesome. We're literally trying to replicate what you've done.
And you are.
And I've also seen, like, where they think they had culture, but it was so loose. They're drinking in the office and like hookahs, and everyone's overweight or like drunk by noon on Friday. Like, that's a bad culture.
Yeah.
You may think that's cool.
Well, and I've been there. And,
Yes.
and by the way, listen, I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, it is fun.
Yeah.
But your home life turns to trash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, you don't understand. And when I say it is fun, I mean, like, I remember, when I just remember just partying at work and, thinking how cool, I can't believe we get to do this. We were all becoming pieces of trash.
Right.
Of course.
One day at a
And,
time.
we didn't realize it, but eventually we looked up and all of us were just trash.
Yep.
And so there was nothing about, getting better, becoming better people. We weren't getting better at our jobs. We were just getting more loose. And, you don't realize that everything's getting out of control until it does.
Yep.
All right. Number 4 is a bullet, something that kills a business. Okay.
Something that kills a business.
Because you coach people every day.
Yeah.
So
you don't pay attention to the numbers.
Ooh.
You don't pay attention to the numbers.
Yeah.
Which most sales orgs are ran by numbers, right? You have certain leads coming in, certain deals being closed, certain, your gross revenue, your net, your bottom line. And if you ain't paying attention to those numbers, they will quickly get out of hand and get out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Numbers, KPIs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple.
A lot
KPIs.
of people use their gut, like my intuition. I feel like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Look, if your gross is going up, but your cash is going down.
Yeah.
There's
something's wrong.
There's a leak.
Problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyways, but somebody could be stealing.
Yeah.
We could be,
overspending.
Yeah, I was going to say overspending. Like, you look around and everybody's got a freaking $50,000 credit card and they're maxed out and you keep paying them off and you're wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you start checking the bills and people are buying groceries on it and shit. And you're like, wait a minute. Sorry to interrupt the podcast. As you're hearing us talk about the 5 reasons why businesses die and then what you should do, and you're listening to Eric and Shyla Klein, which are amazing. They're a badass power couple who have built, so many 8-9-figure businesses. This is super important, okay? They're doing a killer, and I love this. This is going to change your life. They're doing a killer leadership training event that's going to be coming up in January, okay? So if you're watching this and January's past, well, they always do events all the time. But if you're catching this now, you need to text the number below. You see it on the screen? Text the number below. Say, I saw you on Andy Elliott's podcast. Give me information on the leadership event. Remember this, the quality of your life will always come down to the level of your leadership. You want to blow up a business, you got to become a great leader. So I love you guys. Text the number below. They'll send you information. Let's get back to the podcast. Okay.
I think I believe putting the customer first, being service before money, right? Obviously money is important and it drives the business and knowing your numbers and everything. But I believe when the customer is the most important thing, it just naturally comes, right?
Huge.
Yeah. And again, I know I keep referring back to you a lot, right? And your team. But I have been, like, me personally, or Shyla and I together,
Yeah.
we have paid for help, right? We're smart enough to where we know that is a hack, where we don't even really look at the dollar amount because we're like, man, we know we're going to get there much faster. The return. And when we refer to like what you guys do, I say this often, and I like to even put it on my social media. I'm like, you guys have literally fucked it up for every other coach, because once they find this, there's nowhere else out there they can go to.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody or a couple that have been involved with a lot of other groups.
And high level
ones. And I'm not here to put people on blast, but I can say this, when it's the over delivering is crazy. Like Shyla and I moved out here, or we bought a house out here, and I was living in the house by myself on a blow up mattress. And, like, me and Brendan he's close with us.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people on your team, but it was the Kirby's. Shyla loves flowers, loves them. And I had only interacted with the Kirby's maybe once or twice. And there was a thing of flowers at the front door. And I'm like, who the hell sent flowers? And it was someone from your team. What Brendan does, like, we come out here wondering if we wanted to move to Arizona. And Kai, Brendan gets 6 courtside seats to the Phoenix Suns. Kai was sold after that night. Like, we didn't even have to sell him on it. Brendan did it for us. When we come here, like, dude, you guys legit feel like family when we come here.
Yeah.
Or really, really, really close friends. You guys just go above and beyond. And it goes to what Shyla says.
Yeah.
You know, customer service is what you said, I think, right?
Service, putting the customer first, right? Because it's like, you just care so much. Yeah. When you care so much, it's just, that's going to pour out. And then again, the money is going to come natural. And I've heard multiple other people say that and share that. I think I even heard Brad Lee say that, you know, where he said when he finally started to put people first in business, that's when he grew the most and his business
it's the craziest thing, because when we try to take care of ourselves, we always screw it up.
Yeah.
But when we just try to serve other people and take care of them, it's like we get taken care of.
Absolutely. It fills you up too.
Yeah. It's such a freedom.
But when you're not used to that, like, that takes, like, you got to it's not untrained.
Well, no, you have to untrain.
You
almost have to devalue money and increase the value of people. And it's very hard because we've been trained. Our intentions are to make money.
Yeah.
And so, like, you almost have to change your intentions. Yeah. Right. My intentions are to just take really good care of people. And if I do a good job, I know I'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, again, you have to have the right coach. You have to have the right leader, because the leaders that I grew up with were like, intentions are, we're here to make money.
Yeah.
Iron fist.
Yeah. We're not a nonprofit. We are here to make money.
Yep. Look at the numbers.
And dude, honestly, like, dude, they were like, you don't want to be number one. You want to be so far gone past everyone else, number one, that like the number 2 guy is in his own bracket. Like, it's like, he's like number 1 over on the other board, and you're on your own board.
Yeah.
Right? That's how big you need to be number 1. And so, like, when you do that, like, you're so cutthroat with everyone around you, and you just become a cold-hearted killer.
Yeah.
You know, literally.
And by the way, we are definitely not putting the customers first. We are putting the sell first. We are making people And you're almost manipulating people to love what you have so that you can get paid.
Yes.
Instead of, taking care of people, loving people, and making sure that they get a good experience, good customer service, and get taken care of.
Absolutely.
It's not a big difference between the two. You think it's just a slight difference. One is it's just an intention change.
Yeah.
You got to devalue money and you got to increase the value of your clients. And, I asked a guy the other day, I said, hey, in what order should things come first in a business? Making money, the employees, or the customers? And if you ask people to put them in order, what's more important? Customers, money, or employees?
Customer, the people, money.
Yeah, what would be the order?
No, I just, the customer.
Is
the
there
people?
right or wrong?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think.
I think I know what you're going to
Your
think.
employees first.
Yeah.
The people, the customer.
Look, if you put your team first,
Yeah.
they're going to treat
the people really good, and then we're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you put the customers first, and the customers, you always just talk about how they have to be first, then your people that you do life with, they're never going to give you their best.
Yeah.
Because they know that they're there to just serve people. When really you say, listen, guys, ultimately at the end of the day, I want to take care of all of our customers.
Yep.
But my first responsibility is to take care of you guys. Oh, wow. Okay, wait a minute. All right, now I want to take care of you, and I want you guys to take really good care of these people because they trust us. Just like you trust me, they trust you. And then we'll get paid really well if we do a good job, and let's be professionals. And it's like, oh, wow, I like that. You know what I mean? And so a company that's behind that, to me, does really good. I was taught, when I was in sales, make money. Then there's the customers.
Yeah.
And then there's you shitheads.
Yep. Literally.
I know that sounds crazy. And people say, how could you work in an environment like that? Well, anybody that's ever got really good was normally at some point in a boiler environment.
Absolutely.
Where they had to be refined by the fire.
Yep.
And then, we learned to love, we became reborn Christians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, we
untrained,
we devalued money. It means that it wasn't everything, that it was all cracked up to be. We made a lot of money and it didn't really make me, happy. Becoming a better person made me happier. Having a fulfilled heart, being good to people made me happier. And dude, listen, I think that you said you matured. I think some people watching this, if they're younger, they're going to be like, nah, dude, I just want to make money. I know, dude. It's hard to tell a 19-year-old that you need to have love in your heart.
Yep.
I get that. It's a very special 19-year-old that can get that. But you have to go make the big money, burn people, do things wrong to realize that, oh man, I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's the reason why we got to be the best leaders we can so we can build these other people. So super important, guys. If you made it to this end of this video, you're the 1%er. Like that's it. I always say, a lot of people start something and they never finish it. And the goal in life is to win, is you got to outlast everybody. And so if you made it to the end, I'm super grateful for you. We love you. Eric, how do people find you on social media?
At the Eric Klein.
So at the Eric Klein on Instagram. And Shyla, how do they find you?
At Shyla Klein.
At Shyla Klein.
She's a savage.
Yes, she is. And if you guys want to reach out, whether it's you want to learn wholesale real estate, whether you would like to just connect with them, very simple. There's a number below. Just shoot them a text. We love you guys. I'll reach out to you in the next 24 hours. I appreciate you guys. Shyla, you're amazing.
Love you.
Eric,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Have a blessed day. And we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Hey guys, looks like you made it to the end of the video. You're the true 0.0001%ers. Look, I know 1%ers that can make it halfway through the video, but making it all the way through, you guys are the best. Now, here's what I'd like to do. Number one, I want to get closer to you. The fact that you made it all the way through the video, you're like, man, dude, I want to roll with this guy. Okay, so I need to connect with you. Down below, there's a description box on this YouTube video. There's a link. It says Coach with Me one-on-one, okay? If you'll go and you'll enter your information, I'll reach out to you in the next 24 hours. You can tell me what you need help with, what your goals are, and we will crush it together. I would love to help you guys go to the next level in life. You can tell I'm changing my life really fast, and I know that you guys want the same thing. I'd love to go with you on that journey. So right now, if you'd like to partner with me, team with me, if you want me to help coach you and push you, everybody needs a coach, a higher level of accountability to go to the next level. Go to the description box below, click on the link, fill out your information. I'll talk to you in the next 24 hours. Let's kill it.